At this time, I presented a question. I just completed my findings for Kamala Harris. And so I have those charts and my figures all ready to go. And will be presenting them shortly, well, in time. But I was actually looking at like scrolling, of course, on the internet, and um, so again, uh, Joe Biden came up, and of course, he's chosen his running mate, and that's Kamala Harris. Now, for the information that's going to be presented, I'm not going to incorporate any other person. So the only individual that should be discussed in that video will be Kamala Harris, um, VP candidate. Okay, so um, yeah, I think that it would serve better um, if she's the only one that who is to be discussed. And it's going to be a lot of information. So I'm thrilled, I'm excited, and I know I've got well over an hour's worth of information. But this particular spread is regarding Joe Biden. So specifically, who is the presidential, um, he's just accepted the Democratic, what I'm reading online, uh, pre, pre, presidential candidacy, for the run, however they would word that properly. I hope I worded it correctly. Either way, in any case, Donald J. Trump is our current president. just in case for clarification. So I just wanted to look at the spread. Now back to what I really do. I'm a psychic, and so he came up as the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, and um, that just presents to me someone moving. I know he's moving, um, trying to clarify his vision, trying to bring his vision about. It can mean also that someone who is, definitely don't have to worry about him health wise. He's definitely, I don't know if we want to say young enough, but we'll say healthy enough. Um, and it is in the right moment of his life right now to move in this direction, to make his run for presidency. So that was very interesting to see. Of course, the star, which I immediately understood that he, moving towards a vision, wanted to be successful, but he is by himself. He's a bit of a loner. And that's one thing I did not know about. I didn't understand about him, especially someone who is in that field. I'm only imagining, right? I mean, he's the one that's got to live it, but I'm only imagining that you would need to have be really able to connect with people. Being the ability to be versatile is important. Um, and well, I'll stop right there. But uh, I I according to the reading, he's definitely a do it himself type of individual, and I did not see through my five senses perceptions, something that I was able to discover through the other channels, my other through my abilities. So that's represented by the hermit. In fact, I would go on and make a stretch. If he could do all this on his own by himself, he would probably ask for no help. Little help, if if none at all again. So, but he wants to be successful, and so far so good. Especially since predictions that I've released, you know, having drawn out, mapped out um, his uh, his race against our current president, Trump. So that's very interesting. So the Wheel of Fortune says that. So in this journey of clearly embarking on his own, more solo than I ever thought. Um, I couldn't even imagine it if I didn't even think it. Uh, his luck has turned for him for the better, having taken on his vice president pick. So, um, oh, by the way, this question did originate. How are they going to fare in relationship? And I say this because there's a deeper stance in my readings and my astrological findings that go beyond that question. That's why that question came up in my brain. Something that I don't want to discuss here, but I think that anyone could read between the lines. How will their relationship go? But I will not go into detail about that. I'm going to preserve that when I speak on that subject. But it states right here, so he has taken on um, uh, Kamala Harris as his running mate, and so his fortune has turned upright, moving at least in the direction that it needs to go for him um, uh, to make the run. So I continued to finding other avenues, which that it states right here that there's going. Okay, so there's going to be some things that are occurring, like money. There's going to be an influx of money. Money is on its way. So I think I think that's a good thing. We're talking about people who have money, and what I know of Joe Biden just by listening to people talk about him on the internet, he comes from money. So, but I think that money works differently if one runs for president. So I think this represents money that's not his own, but money that needs to come from somewhere, and um, yeah, it's going to. So they don't have to worry about anything there. This is a beauty right here because this means that um, it's going to get very, very interesting on a financial level. And I thought that this would be. I stated this very briefly in my past sort of observations of this, of the stars when I was looking at Joe Biden and Donald Trump's their astrological charts placed together, and um, it talks about like there are no financial risks. I mean, entering into this run, um, the money is going to be there. There's just no doubt about it. At least they will. Everyone will make it to their debate battleground, the stage. The stage is already set for that, which that's my favorite part. That's my personal thoughts. My personal thoughts. I'm so looking forward towards the actual debate. But yeah, they're not going to have any trouble in that area. So I'll go on to say, I impart that there will be blessings for of course on either side. So the money on either side will be there. Okay, so there's no doubt about that. Um, so This card represents that, he's not Joe Biden. He's not been able to rest. Now they say that he will have. I don't. I know he's going to be on edge, but as anyone would be, that pressure that they're going to take everybody's going to take on, but he can have some peace of mind, level-headedness, peace of mind, and approach this with a feeling of, okay, that's one hurdle, that they're able to get over, and now on to the milestone. So we'll see what he does with this time, but it's a big countdown. Everyone is looking forward towards November 3rd. So that part, yeah, I don't think it won't help much in that point, but at least he will have some peace of mind, that he's got this part behind him. I think he's maybe even talking about the financial aspect. So definitely we'll have the ability to move forward. He and he will, accompanied with his VP pick, Kamala Harris. So it's going to be amazing. Direction for the both of them, and when I say this, I'm speaking intuitively, regardless of my, like, who is favorable or no. I'm speaking favorably of the reading. My readings tend to host no room for bias. It just knows. It just knows to pick up the correct energy, and what is favorable is this, meaning this, regardless of the recipient of, for the reading, this information, which be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, their direction is favorable, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next is oh, yeah, they're gonna this is more than just celebrating, but they are gonna feel quite good. So I imagine that the word, I'm picking up the word unanimously. So I'm being told through the higher ups that, everyone is very happy with the both of them. So he and his running mate. So that's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So, and they, meaning their party, the party that they both will represent, the Democratic Party, are pleased with the both of them. That's what I'm saying. So there's meant to be celebration, and Joe Biden states, which he says, unanimously. So that is applied to him. So this was the end. This card is the end. Excuse me, I better point to it. This card is the end card. It means decision, life decision. So there's a mantle to be taken on, something that is very personal, something that Joe Biden will take on to himself, but something that he would not be able to do, it had he not selected. I should say it this way. Obviously, he has to. That's part of the rules. He has to have a running mate. That's our system. We have to play by the system. But I mean, for this to go as smoothly as it has for him to take on this mantle, there's no way without this specific, particular running mate, Kamala Harris, would he ever have that level of mental balance. And so this is going to proceed. So far, all is well. I will continue to psychically look into things. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to state again, um, I have already done the homework for the Joe Biden's VP running mate. I already have the information. I cannot wait to share with you my findings. I already read it, so I know what it says, and that's why I've got to stop here because I'll start talking about it. But it's going to be interesting, and we'll see. We'll see what happens next.